Can you boost your immunity? My name is Dr. Ashay Narendra Jadhav. I am a sports medicine doctor. I work as a medical officer at Sports Authority of India Mumbai Center, and also I am Media and Protocol Head at Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine. Disclaimer: this video is meant for educational purposes only. I am a registered medical doctor, but no information in this video is to be a substitute for professional medical advice. Everywhere you see these days, be it Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram, news channels, advertisements, you will find many advising on your immunity. Take this, take that, do this, do that. This will boost your immunity. Some really may be helpful, but then there are no such restrictions when it comes to making such claims about immunity. So here is my attempt to help you understand if you can really boost your immunity with whatever limited knowledge I have. You should first try to understand what exactly is immunity. This definition is from the most commonly used book to teach physiology. The human body has the ability to resist almost all types of organisms or toxins that tend to damage the tissues and organs. This capability is called immunity. There are two main types. First is innate and second is acquired. Innate immunity is that which is present since birth. Acquired immunity is one which we acquire later, like maternal antibodies from breastfeeding, various vaccinations that we take from immunization programs. Whenever you recover from infection, your body develops some immunity, and also plasma antibodies that we all have heard, wherein recovered patients donate their plasma for other newly infected COVID patients. So all this is acquired immunity. More on innate immunity. It is non-specific. So what does it include? Skin. Yes, your skin is part of your immunity, which protects by preventing organisms from entering your body. Next is various enzymes in our body, like digestive enzymes, which have capability to kill certain organisms and prevent them from entering our body further. Then if further organisms do enter our body, then there are immune cells like neutrophils, macrophages, etc., which try to kill them or restrict their activity. Also, there are many substances like complement proteins which support immune cells by helping in recognition of foreign organisms. Even ciliary epithelium in your trachea is part of immunity, preventing entry of foreign organisms or substances. Coming to acquired immunity, as you can see, it is quite complicated, but just focus on these. They are called lymphocytes. They are T cells and B cells. B cells are the one which will make your antibodies, and all these cells are formed in our bone marrow. The T cells go to thymus to get matured, while B cells go to lymphoid organs such as spleen to develop further. All immune cells have their individual roles, as well as they have to communicate with other cells, which is needed for optimal functioning. So how do they communicate with each other? They need some communication service, right? Herein comes the cytokines. These substances are released by immune cells to communicate with each other. I understand it is getting a little complicated to understand, but I will tell you in a moment why you need to know these. Let's say you got infected with COVID-19. Your body's immune system will kick in and start fighting the virus. Most may be asymptomatic or with very mild symptoms like fever, cough, etc. You get antiviral medications like favipiravir, ivermectin, remdesivir to fight the virus and assist your immune system. But since we don't really have a good medication against this virus, sometimes the virus overwhelms a relatively weaker immune system, which causes something known as cytokine storm. Now you might say, how can I say that only weak ones will get into cytokine storm, as even some very elderly have recovered while healthy ones have died? Well, it all depends. The amount of virus that entered, how healthy that person was, whether that person had any pre-existing diseases or disorders, multiple factors which could have made their system weaker relative to the virus. So coming back to the point, cytokine storm is caused. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the reason why you need to know cytokines. Cytokines are basically messengers, and cytokine storm is like a viral forwarded message on a messaging service asking all immune cells to go on a riot mode. So they all go on a riot mode, attacking every healthy organ and tissues in your body, leading to severe lung damage, liver damage, kidney damage, etc. So to detect lung damage, CT scan is being done. Damage to liver is the reason why doctors keep monitoring your CRP, D-dimer, ferritin, as these are like signals for doctors to modify the doses of treatment being given. So next time you see an advertisement where they try to show that unnecessary tests or medications are being given by doctors, first of all ask your doctor for the reason. If not satisfied, then you can raise a complaint to relevant authorities. There are better ways to advertise a product instead of showing a profession in a negative way. Anyways, so now let's say cytokine storm has begun, all out attack by your immune system against your own body. This is where the corticosteroids come in, like methylprednisolone. They are immune suppressants. Then also, since there are high chances of blood clotting due to liver damage, anticoagulants are given like enoxaparin. Tocilizumab is a substance which acts against one of the cytokines. So basically another drug trying to stop the storm. There are many other drugs being used, but these are the ones being used as per AIMS Delhi protocol. So now all that we are trying to do is stop your immune system from damaging your own body. Now why did I tell you all this? To educate you about corticosteroids. Their purpose is to stop your immune system. So if for example you were having mild symptoms, that means your immune system is fighting adequately. But then you took corticosteroids as you read it somewhere or some random friend told you. What will happen? It will make your immune system weaker and the virus will grow faster, leading to severe disease than what you originally had. So never try to self-prescribe corticosteroids or for that matter any medication as such. Always consult your doctor. So I hope you got some understanding of this complicated system. Now let's see how you can boost it. Here I will assume that the person was born normally with no disease or disorders and is maintaining a fairly healthy lifestyle. Let's go with innate immunity first. Skin. So consider you have a normal skin with no diseases. It is acting well as a barrier till now to prevent organisms from entering. What else can you do to boost? Exactly, wear a mask, wash your hands and maintain social distancing. I understand nobody can follow it all time, but if you can try as much as possible to follow it, even though you get infected someday, it should be a milder disease as it protects from getting a higher viral load. So here is a triple boost to your immunity to try to maintain the boost. Digestive enzymes. As long as you aren't interfering with its activity by taking medications due to some disorder or some lifestyle, nothing much to boost here. Immune cells. These are cells, so they need energy to survive and function, right? Where do we get energy from? Diet. A well-balanced diet which has all necessary nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, water. So let's assume your diet is well-balanced with all necessary nutrients. That's all is needed for immune cells. Complement proteins, again from your diet. Coming to acquired immunity. Maternal antibodies, I guess can't do much to boost it now. Vaccination. Yes, every country is trying their best to get everyone vaccinated. Get any vaccine as soon as you can. It is basically a substance which will help your body form antibodies against the virus. So definitely an immunity boost that you can get. Infection. So when a person gets the disease and fights off successfully, they will form antibodies. Immunity will get boosted, but it is not the ideal way we are hoping to boost your immunity. Convalescent plasma is basically taking antibodies from those who recovered and giving it to patients. So definitely an immunity booster, but leave it for patients who actually need it. So what are your immunity boosters? Number 1 is the vaccine. Take any vaccine you can. Number 2 is common knowledge, mask, hand wash and social distancing. Number 3 is your diet. A well-balanced diet is essential for your immunity. If you don't know whether your diet is adequate, then get hold of some professional with knowledge of nutrition, be it a doctor or dietitian. Someone you trust, follow their advice. Number 4 is physical activity. It is proven to have optimal effect on your immune system. You can pause the video and read what are the basic exercises suggested, or even download the whole paper. Link is given in description. There are thousands of videos on what exercises to do, how to do, when to do, etc. etc. Follow whoever you feel comfortable with. Just remember 150 minutes of moderate intensity per week. Number 5 is quality sleep. It is no secret that sleep is essential for recovery of all cells, which includes immune cells. Follow your sleep schedule as per your lifestyle, but make sure you have minimum of 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Before I go into supplements, I wanted to show this article. It is from Harvard Medical School, published on 5th April 2021. The bottom line is that certain supplements might help, but even for them there is no proof. So think before buying anything unproven or some unknown substance with claims of boosting immunity. But I would recommend all Indians to take certain supplements. The reason being this: all Indians have some or other deficiency in our diet. Unless you are following advice from a professional who is making sure you cover all required nutrients and keeping a track by testing your levels in blood tests, trust me, you shall be having some or other deficiency as your diet may not be balanced to meet daily requirements. Just think about the number of times you skipped your meals. Do you ever try to cover them in your next meal? I guess not many do. Ideal would be to get yourself tested for deficiencies. If you do find, try to cover those deficiencies. This is a logical way ahead that will actually boost immunity instead of just taking some random substance which maybe you're not even deficient in. For example, suppose you are low in iron and you are taking a substance with high amounts of vitamin C. How is vitamin C going to cover your iron deficiency? So I hope you got my point about these supplements. Management of your deficiency is the immunity booster for you, and different people may be having different deficiencies. We can't use just one substance, and excess of it is not going to help much. Here I shall cover a few supplements in COVID perspective with a proven effect. Vitamin D has a big role in immune function. If you are deficient, you should take it. If you don't know whether you are deficient, well then just start taking vitamin D. Best is to start on supplements straight away. Get adequate sun exposure in the morning and add food sources high in vitamin D. Many studies and articles out there which support its effect. Link is given in description for those shown here. Next big one is zinc. Multiple beneficial effects of zinc has been found on immune system. It has been given to COVID patients and everyone is taking it. So unless you have zinc deficiency, it might not boost much, but take it anyways. Why risk not taking? Vitamin C is the most abused as immunity booster along with zinc. It does have immune function, but if you are not having vitamin C deficiency, additional vitamin C is not going to do much. Like this paper on effect of high dose vitamin C didn't find significant effect in COVID patients. Oranges, lemons, amla, or mixtures or syrups containing amla and other herbs are getting limelight these days as they are usually containing high amounts of vitamin C, all being sold at a higher price in name of immune boosting. So I hope now onwards you think about it. Whenever someone tries to sell you some product as immune booster, ask them how does it boost. Most of the times answer will be vitamin C or some random active ingredient which has some vague general effect. In the end, it is a free country. You are free to choose whatever you want. Placebo effect is an effect. Whatever you think helps you get better, it is your choice. Last, I want to add, if you don't have ginger, garlic and turmeric in your diet yet, then do add them. I'm pretty sure all Indians have them all. They contain certain active ingredients in them. You may refer to these studies. Link is given in description. So all these are your immunity boosters. Stay safe and strong. Thank you.